You want to know a crazy idea I had? Put on the pod Instagram and say, we should do a contest, and then loser does XYZ, and then if I lose, one of the things should be like, get a tattoo. Bro, I've known...
Would you actually?
Oh, I know I'm going to get a tattoo.
Oh.
But having that be kind of the thing, and then, because I know what I want.
What do you want?
But
if you don't mind.
I don't know what I want.
When I hear those things,
you want a tattoo, but you don't know what you want is a better way.
So the only way I can describe it is I want nature infused with Salvador Dali, infused with just art and poetry. Like I want something beautiful.
Bro, next time you go into your tattoo artist, ask them what's the craziest stories they've ever heard.
He told me he came in. It was while he was still in his like apprenticeship era of being a tattoo artist. He said these two kids come into the tattoo shop. One, they're like maybe 19. It's a boy and a girl. They're like 19. Mm-hmm. The guy comes up. He was like, "Hey, do you guys do like names? I want to get my girl's name tattooed on me." So now, as a responsible tattoo artist, you're like, "Hey, you guys are young.
Hey, let's take it easy."
Yeah, literally, he was like, "Hey, you guys are young. You never know what the future holds. Like, are you sure you want to get your name tattooed?" Whole time, the girl had already gotten his name on there. Oh. So like they were kind of like giving you like pushing back a little bit just because that's what a good tattoo artist does.
Yeah,
they don't just tattoo whatever.
That's a professional.
Exactly.
Guy.
That's a professional. Like, you want to really make sure you think. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And then he ended up saying like the tattoo artist was like, you know what, we're not gonna do this. We don't want to be responsible for whatever happens. So he was like, he ended up leaving. They told him, hey, in like 3 months, who knows what happens in 3 months. Yeah, but that's permanent for life. 3 months later, the guy comes back, got a tattoo of the girl, and he was like, hey, do you guys do cover-ups?
Got a tattoo of the girl.
The girl's name. And then now he's coming in wondering, hey, do you guys do cover-ups? Because he got the girl's tattooed on him, the girl's name tattooed on him, and they broke up.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So now the guy came in wondering, like hoping that they wouldn't remember him, but he was like, they were both like, hey, you were the guy that was here like 3 months ago, right? Asking to get the girl's name tattooed on you. And he was like,
how did that go?
He like kind of looked shocked and like, he was like, oh, damn, I didn't think you guys would remember me. But yeah, I mean, because another thing that he told me was like, once you get a person's name tattooed on you, that's the downfall of the relationship.
Oh, dude, this happened to me in high school. I'm not going to say names, but this guy, let's call him Fred again, got a tattoo of his girlfriend. We were like juniors, seniors at the time. Let's say the name was Amy. Mm-hmm. Dude, he came into soccer practice, P&A, once upon a time, and he's like, hey, guys, look at this. Dude, we took one look and we're like, bro. No. No, man.
Was it like big?
Dude, it was a lot more words than letters than Amy. It was like 8 letters, all right on his bicep here, and didn't last.
How long after that did they break up?
Oh, dude, it was definitely within a year. A couple of months for sure. Before they graduated, yeah. And
now you got 2 choices: either laser or keep dating Amy's for the rest of your life, and just Amy's.
I've been waiting for you.
Oh, you're the one for me.
Yeah, but so the reason I asked her tattoo questions, so Alyssa got a tattoo recently, and she asked the artist the craziest stories. 2 of them. One of them, this guy asked the tattoo artist to like tattoo his dick, his penis, like all around or something, and the tattoo artist obliged.
He's like, hard.
Dude, that's the same question I asked. Had to be hard. You can't do it soft. Had to be hard. Because he asked. But the thing is, the tattoo artist said, okay, I'll do it, but then gave him a crazy fee. A crazy, like, I don't know how much normal is, but a crazy fee. And the guy didn't end up doing it.
He didn't?
No, did not. Okay. So that was 1, right? 2, the same tattoo artist said that this lady came in and asked him to put 2 cherries, one on either side of her butt cheeks. So one on the right, one on the left. And naturally, the question is, why? Mm-hmm. And the lady said that, when me and my husband make love, when he smacks my ass, I want the cherry to turn red.
Yo, people are creative.
That's good.
I don't think he did it either. I don't think he did that tattoo.
Because the girl that did most of these tattoos, or all of these tattoos, she also told me like when they push back on a client, but the client persists and persists and persists, that's when they'll give you, okay, I'll do it for this price.
Yeah, dude, that's the fuck you fee, right? Like,
yeah.
So, you really want it, bet.
Hey, man, I'd be cool with you with a tattoo. I'd be cool with you with that tattoo. I don't know if that's like, I've never heard you say it. I've heard him say
A
it.
lot of people have said I'd look really good with a tattoo.
It fits the aesthetic.
Just got to find. I like what you're saying. Like make it an art piece. You know, I really like that.
An art piece.
I mean, like your arms are looking like art pieces, bro. So.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I try.
They do.
Like I said, I've always wanted to do it. Well, like we talked about last week. I was scared for a long time, wondering what people may say, the pain I may feel. Did it. Said my first one, and now I love it.
You become addicted. Yeah, your sister, she's covered in tats now, too.
My sister
Yeah?
is also, yeah.
I
You're
saw
right
I
on.
got more.
I saw a picture of them at the Mexican party.
She.
The fact that you have to think about it. Damn.
a lot.
So with me, it's like on both of my arms, right?
That's son gangueros, bro.
On her, it's all her right arm. In fact, she was the first person in our household to ever get a tattoo. Or in our
Respect.
our
She's the man of that
condensed
household.
family.
Respect.
And then when she like showed us the first time, I was like, that's the same thing I said to her. I was like, wow, finally gangster.
Get her on the pod, bro. Let's give
Get her on the
give her
pod.
that seat.
Have you said thank you?
Have you said thank you once?
She's trailblazing you, bro.
Wow.
So really, I guess she really opened the door for that
Okay.
one.
No, that's what
What?
siblings are for, bro. Fuck yeah.
What a segue. Brother?
We're officially starting.
I think so.
All right, we're here.
We're here.
Senor?
Woo!
All good claps around.
Is here.
Wow. What
Like
a
the
segue.
cherry till it's red.
And yes, listen to the Patreon. We're going to set up some very exclusive VIP clips only from before the clap.
Smacking Sebas's cheeks.
Wow, that's crazy.
Obviously, if you're watching, you know that we've got a special guest in the house.
It's a trilogy.
The trilogy. Edu is back.
It is.
Again.
We have completed, or no, we are completing the full trilogy.
The hat trick.
The hat trick.
We are collecting
The
Infinity
trifecta.
Stones. The Infinity Stones.
The Infinity Stones, one by one.
One by one. And the topic for today, and I was thinking, what would a good topic be? Because we've kind of transitioned into like theming our episodes.
We have. There's a
And-
little more structure.
It gives it more structure. It makes the stories flow a little bit more and connecting the dots, giving you guys something to listen to, have fun with, and brought to you by Cocadas.
De Colombia, straight from Cartagena.
Wow. Speaking of Cartagena, trailblazing your own path is the theme of this episode. And my brother, I find him very much a trailblazer, a trendsetter, and it's an honor to have you as a guest.
An icon.
Icon.
A diva, one might say.
A diva for sure. 100%.
An icon living, a diva. I like it.
An
I like
icon in
it.
the flesh.
I like it. Let's keep that going.
Because going off on that point, that is very true because we never had older. I mean, we had older cousins, but we didn't see them as often. We of course have younger cousins, but out of like our little group right here, you were the first one that had to experience everything. First one having to go like into high school, having to go into college, having to get a job, having to get with a wife. Who else better to ask about these things?
Yeah, bro. No, I as you're saying it, I feel like, oh shit, this is gonna be an episode about me now. But
Yeah,
I'm here for it. I'm here for it, dude. I've had a day, and we can get into that. But I got the text message with the theme. I read it. I'm like, all right, bet. Didn't give any thought to it, but I'm gonna definitely spiff because I can talk
Do
about
it.
myself easy. But yeah, dude, no, I like what you're saying because it's true. There's a lot of weight on the first person, the trailblazer, that maybe goes unnoticed by other people. Not that they should or shouldn't know, but my point is just like being the first has a lot of extra work to it.
You walked in through the door before me and him did.
Yeah, dude. And then luckily, like, and I say this to Steffi and Anthony all the time, like, you guys at least got to see how I did it, and now you get to choose, do I like that, or do I like another way? You get something that I never had someone to look up and say, like, oh, okay, they did it that way. Maybe I'll follow that, or maybe I won't. I had to come up with my own way to go, which is...
And I feel like we share that as older brothers. I also don't have an older sibling that I feel like I could, hey, I'm going to follow that. Or, hey, my brother did this, so I'm going to do the same thing. So
Yeah,
it's
bro.
like, in a way I have that to look at.
For sure, dude. Yeah, levels, right?
Yeah. But please, you've had a day.
Dude, it was a day. I think I sent a text out this morning at like 5, right? I said something to you. You were, I knew you were up. Bro, my day from that was the highlight of my
5
day.
a.m.
5 a.m. That was the
5 a.m.
highlight of my day. 5:20 pooped, 5:30 highlight of my day. All downhill from there.
Oh, man.
Dude,
I'll tell you what, the hair looks great.
Dude, I was thinking the same thing. I didn't know when to bring it up.
It's coming up, man. I'm learning how to do it, keep the long hair better, and I like how it's looking.
How to maintain.
Appreciate it.
You're
How to
flowing.
maintain. That's
You're
the
flowing.
Okay, so 6 a.m. I go outside. I try to leave the house between like 6 and 6:20. I get in the car, dude. 6:10. I get in the car 6:10. Turn on the car. It fucking stutter steps, bro. I'm like, yo, what's happening, right? Because life is going pretty good, so naturally cars just tend to die. So again, I tried it a couple times. Something was off. You know, I took off the handbrake. I'm one of the handbrake type of people. Took off the handbrake while the car was off, and it started moving while the car was off. Right? I'm like, all right, that's not good. And luckily, I put it back because I was going to fall out of the garage, and then we're cooked. How do I push the car back if it's dead, right? So I handbrake. Use your handbrakes, guys. So at this point, I'm like, all right, this car is cooked. I have to be at work at 7 a.m. Luckily, Alyssa didn't work today, Wednesday. She also doesn't work. She doesn't work sometimes during the week, so she didn't work today. So I'm like, all right, I've got to wake her up and tell her the news. I'm like, hey. So I went up to her, not shook her, but like nicely woke her up.
Honey, I shrunk the kids.
My car's broken! Whole time she's just peacefully sleeping.
I need a piggyback ride stack.
I need a ride right now!
No, so I woke her up like gently, because this has happened to me before where she'll come in, poof, and then I'm like, yo, what the?
Oh, okay.
Right, so like I know how to wake people up. You have to be very like calm.
It's a skill.
It's a skill. So woke her up. I'm like, hey, just quick emergency, but I need to take your car. My car won't start. I hope that's okay. And she's like, oh, I do have the dentist later. So I'm like, you can Uber. That's easy. It's right around the corner. So anyway, took the car, went to work. Right on my way to work, I call my dad. I'm like, hey, Dad. This is happening, just wanted to spitball some ideas what it could be, because at this point I had no idea what it was.
What person asked, mind you.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. So we spitball, and he's like, oh, when was the last time you got a battery replacement? I'm like, damn, 2018 or 2019? So 6 years, 7 years, right, going on a battery.
What did the man just say?
6-7 years since he last replaced his battery.
Bro,
wow.
Batteries last 3 to 5 years apparently, right? So this battery's been a trooper.
You shot it. You shot past it.
Trooper, bro. So he's like, try this. So he gave me a bunch of other ideas, but I really liked the battery idea because I actually changed the battery before we went to Nashville.
Wow.
Dude, that was for that trip.
So that was a fresh battery.
That was a fresh battery.
You could tell.
That's the same battery.
Yeah, dude, that Nissan Altima had 4x4 with that fresh battery.
Dude, we went up a mountain, bro, in the snow, in the dark, with that Nissan at like 11 p.m. It was dark. Oh my God. And
I'm not joking.
We made it all the way up. Dude, and you were talking about today, like getting a new car, which that's a thought. But after today, after all the ordeal, so spoiler alert, the car works now. I'll get to the story. There's more to the story. The car works. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here today if the car didn't work. I wouldn't be here.
Ruin the story.
What was I going to say? So there was just such an appreciation to my car today.
Yeah.
I got it working. Yeah. I'm like,
baby.
We're still here.
Yep.
We're still here. This is bad. 10 years later, dude. 10-year-old car. 10-year-old car. So
reliable.
So today I felt that I'm not ready to say goodbye.
Okay.
One, I don't want it to get to the point where the car dies and I have to buy a car. I want to buy a car before it dies. I don't want it to be a desperation move.
You want to do this on your own means.
I want to do research. I want to do it properly on my own terms, not this way. So anyway, let's go back to the morning. So I get to work around 7:10, a little late, and from 7:10 to 8 o'clock, I'm just doing research on the computer. Hopefully my boss doesn't listen to this podcast, but I was doing research, what kind of battery do I need, how to replace a battery, all like the works, so that way after work I can just come home and hit it, right? So I figured out the battery situation, and while this is going on, right, so at 8 o'clock I did all my work and I was ready to actually start working for my day. Throughout that whole hour, I kept getting a whiff of something, bro. Just a whiff.
In the office.
In the office. I'm like, fuck, dude, what the? Like, I walked around, I looked in the trash can. Like a stink, bro. I'm like, is it me? Like, I didn't smell it in the car.
Man.
So, like, it had to be in the office, right? 7 to 8, nothing. I was just smelling it because I was focused on the first problem at hand here, right? Around 8 o'clock, I'm like, all right, time to get to work. I'm like, all right, let me go use the bathroom so I can just get started focused. I smelled it again, bro. I'm like, what the hell? I forgot where I noticed it. No, I was sitting down, dude. I went down, I took off my shoe, fresh piece of dog shit just smushed up in my shoe, bro.
That would have been my 13th reason why.
Dude.
You walked around bare-ass socks in your fucking backyard.
No, dude, shoe, what are you saying? That was
It was inside your shoe.
No, it was, I took the shoe off and I looked, and it was on the bottom of the shoe.
Oh, got it. Okay,
Is this guy here with us today?
I painted a different picture in my mind.
He's had a day too, man. That's right. We all had a day.
Dude, that sucks.
Yo, so again, this was 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. I was sitting at my desk, moving my foot around, walking around the whole office.
No.
I took it off. I'm like, bro. And now what do? Right? I'm in an office. There's a bathroom, but there's like just a sink, a regular sink. I'm like, you know what? Okay, so I planned it in my head. I'm like, all right, let me get a trash can. Let me get a bunch of paper towels. Luckily, he had Clorox like spray. And then I went to the bathroom. I'm like, I think the easiest way is for me to put the shoe in the sink. Bro. Like, I know, like, it's kind of gross, whatever, but it's got to happen. Put it on, just whatever. Washed it under that. And then the other problem is, so I was scrubbing with paper towels, but I was wearing Sambas. And if you know Sambas, bro, they have like
crevices,
bro, diamonds all over the place, and the shit just wouldn't come out with the regular paper towel.
Had to get a brush.
Dude. So like again, and I'm thinking quick because this was around like 8:30, let's say. At 9 o'clock, my other employee comes in, and I'm like, I'm trying to beat the clock here. I don't want to have to explain what's happening here to anybody, so I'm trying to beat the clock.
Hey, sorry about the smell, bro.
You see what the new guy did today?
week 2, bro. It's weird.
Week 2. He shows up with shit.
Day 6. Walking around the whole office.
It smells like dog shit since the dude got here.
Hey, you said your wife's a vet, huh? Oh, fuck.
Fuck.
So again, mind you, I'm beating the clock. 8:30 is when I found out about the shoe, so we're already well within that time period, right? So crevices. I'm like, all right, I got to come outside and find something like this. I'm like, if I see a pencil, that pencil's toast, like this kind of mentality. Again, it's that engineering mind of like, yo, I'm looking around what's going to help me the best in this situation. I ended up finding some sort of like a flower arrangement that my boss had, like 4 roses, and they had like 4 sticks. The sticks weren't doing anything, bro. Sticks weren't doing anything. I'm like, oh, it comes out. Pull it out.
The sticks actually hold the roses up, but that's a different story.
Dude, if he has
Who did this? Just a dead rose on the floor.
Dude, only someone whose mom took Tylenol and has autism now, that's a joke,
Wow.
would be able to notice that one of the 4 sticks is missing. Okay. That's the only person, that's what I'm saying. So,
cancel.
Respectfully. It's very in right now. All right. So I took the stick, the palito, broke it in half because I'm like, I might need 4 sides, just to whatever. One side was enough, but I was literally like taking shit off of crevices, bro. Like again, I was pretty close, so the smell was like, it was just miserable. And the paper towels, so I was taking them and throwing them like in a separate garbage bag, but like it's shit paper towel, right? In my hands and shit. All right, shoes clean, put it back on. Still had the little trash can. I'm like, I have to clean the floors. I have to clean the floors, Because if I don't clean the floors, I got to say something. I don't want to say something. At that point, I'm like, I don't want to say anything. So luckily, they had a little Swiffer, so I got a fresh little thing, put the little paper on, and then just dude, I walked. In an hour, you walk a lot, because I went to my desk straight from the office, and then I walked to the bathroom, so made like a diagonal, and I'm pretty sure I did like another kind of like star pattern. So again, the whole thing was cooked at that point.
This man.
So, dude,
spreading it all over.
And then, dude, I finished at like 8:50, 8:55. I'm like, okay, great. I put the stuff in the garbage bag. I'm like, I'm going to take it out, walk outside in the alley, throw the garbage out. Went out. Dude, I wasn't gone 30 seconds, maybe a minute. I go back in the office, and my boss is there. In that time, my boss got there. And also, my boss on Wednesdays doesn't show up to the office. He's usually on site visits all day. Of course. So in my mind, I was only worried about the other coworker. My boss shows up at 9, bro. I'm like, oh, dude, I didn't say anything. I played it cool. I went straight to the bathroom to wash my hands because I was in the trash can. And then by that point, he came up and he's like, hey, how's your day? How's your morning going? I'm like, bro, I've had a day. And then at this point, I was like, do I tell him? I'm like, no. I'm only going to tell him the first half. So I told him about the car. Okay. Remember, the car happened this morning.
Whole time you just turn around and you're crying. Hey, how's your day? You're like... It's not even 10 o'clock yet. I want to kill myself.
Dude, it's 9 o'clock. Cut the show. I'm done, bro. So how's your day going? Dude, I've had a day. So I told him about the car, and he was helpful. He was like, oh, if you think it's a battery, I have a portable like jump start kit. So he went to his car, grabbed it. In the meantime, my other coworker came at 9 o'clock on the dot. So anyway, so we were talking about nonsense. I didn't tell anyone about the shit. I said, you know what? This is going to be a secret.
This is just for me.
And our viewers now.
And the viewers.
Well, you're eventually going to tell them because they're going to hear this. So
when we win an award for the best structural engineering firm in Chicago, at my acceptance speech, the story comes out.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Incredible.
What a day, buddy. Hey, I can only imagine day goes up from there, huh?
It kind of went down a little more, but I'll leave that one. I'll leave that one be. But after work, I ran home and immediately got started on the car. Popped the hood, looked at the battery. Dude, looked like shit. The corrosion on the wheels. So I didn't even try to put the jump start. I'm like, I feel like that's unsafe. Like literally, I don't think I could have gotten it. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go straight to get the battery. By this point, I talked to like 6 people on the phone. Like, what battery should I get? There's multiple opinions out there apparently. Get to the spot, buy the battery, come back, and then dude, it's really easy. I don't know if you guys have ever taken a battery out.
I think I have. Yeah.
It's pretty easy. It's got there's 4 little nuts you got to unscrew and then take them out. You do have to do it in an order. So PSA, you should take the negative
to positive,
negative off first, positive off second, and then when putting it back, it's the opposite, positive and then negative. Just FYI. If I'm wrong, please Google it.
If I'm wrong, just reverse it.
If I'm wrong, reverse it, but do that before you actually do it.
We are a comedy podcast. What you do with this information is...
If you're taking mechanical advice from this right here,
we're cooked.
We do have 2 engineers here,
Seal your
so,
fate.
whatever. Chances are good. So anyway, I took the battery out, whatever, put the new one in, bro. And then before I could even start the car, a guy through the alley came in to sell me his services that my chimney needs work. And then, before I got the good news of, it's starting, he talked to me for, 5-10 minutes, which, luckily I know I needed to work on it, so I'm like, I'll listen to you. But anyway, he left, and then Alyssa came out to check in on me, and then I was like, here we go.
V8. 4x4.
Man.
4x4 activated.
Dude, and that was when I got that sense of, we're still here, baby. We're still here. We're still kicking it. We're still kicking it, so.
After a day.
I mean, that's not that old of a car, 10 years, right?
Nah, dude, cars should... This car specifically, bro, nothing has been an issue, which is why the car dying this morning was such a surprise. But it makes sense that it's the battery because that's the only thing that I have neglected.
Yeah.
But everything else, dude, the car is still going strong. Sure, it's slowing down, but, don't we all after a certain age?
I'll tell you what, buddy, we all do slow down after a certain time.
Yeah. So.
Trailblazing, I mean, that's all an example of trailblazing.
That leads me on to, that's a very good question or segue into really, because I obviously prepared some questions for our guest here because I never knew why you decided to become an engineer. I didn't know if that's something that just clicked in your head. So that is what my question is going to be. How did you realize that because you are a
structural
engineer.
Senior structural engineer as of last week, Monday.
Very good.
I'm only 31 too, which is crazy.
And
pushing 40.
How this guy loves saying that.
On my way.
I'm pushing 40. How did you realize? At what moment did it spark that you're like, because were you a kid that liked to take things apart and put them back together, kind of figure out how things work, or did you just something that because I know you guys are big into math and science, right?
Big, huge.
The maths,
huge.
The STEM,
especially level 4.
So tell me about that, because I never really knew how you became to decide, hey, this is what I want to set on, this is what I'm going to pursue. Where did that come from?
So I love this question because this question is the reason I get job interviews and job offers.
Sheesh.
Because I've gotten so good at answering this question, not even getting this question asked, but I like to bring it up because it tells you so much about who I am and just what I'm about to tell you. Because in an interview, right, they want to know who you are. Sure, they know your experience on paper, the resume.
Right.
But who are you? Who is Sebas? Who is Anthony? And the only way you can do that is to talk, to tell a story, which you guys are really good at. So this is that story I'm about to share with y'all. So I'm going to go a bit further behind my story because usually I start at this point. But to answer your question of when did it start, honestly, dude, it goes back to North Shore. I remember in 7th grade, Sir Palma, another Eduardo, he's Filipino.
Shout out.
He didn't make us, but he had an assignment for us to make little houses out of construction paper. So you would fold them up a certain way. You'd make a cube, a rectangle, and that would be the house. You'd make a smaller one, that's the garage. You'd make a little triangle, that's the roof. And that was it, right? Everyone had the assignment and everyone did it very simply, 3 things. That was the assignment, that was fine. But bro, me over the next 2 weeks, whenever I had free time, I would create another little thing and I would add another piece to the puzzle. So at this point, we were living in Norridge. So you remember we had that big patio in the back.
Yeah.
We had another garage over here. So dude, I added everything about Norridge into this little thing. I even put grass underneath it. Like I made a green thing.
Was this part of your project, or this is just you?
This was just me riffing, yeah. So the project was done. It was just supposed to be like two buildings, one building maybe. But dude, I made the whole house.
Right.
Enough so to where people would come up to me. I remember one kid, I forgot his name, but he came up. He's like, "Yo, who's the owner of this masterpiece?"
Sheesh. Whoa.
And so this was 7th grade, right? So I didn't know what I wanted to do at that point, but at least I knew maybe architecture, something like creating. I think that creating was and I had fun. It was fun. I even made a soccer ball. We had a yellow soccer ball during that time. I literally just made a little glued it in the soccer ball. Okay, so now to the story. So what I like to tell people is when I got to high school, Lane Tech, I'm a Lane Tech grad, junior year, I had this class called physics. And, so backstory, my parents didn't go to college, they didn't study here, they don't know, they didn't have a high education how one normally does in the United States. They were both born and raised in Ecuador. So junior year, I had this class called physics, and I asked one of my older friends who was a senior, I'm like, yo, what's physics? And so I love his response because it's going to stick with me forever. So we were outside, I think, playing soccer for tryouts or whatever. He grabbed the ball, and he threw it in the air. And then he caught it. And then he looks at me and he says, all right, describe that using math. That's physics.
Is your friend Bill Nye the Science Guy?
He's a civil engineer too, but he's a very smart guy.
Close.
Manny, I'll get this to you. So, bro, my mind was blown, right? Like I didn't know you could do that. You could describe the universe through numbers, right? At this point, had I had a different upbringing, not that I care about that at all, but people know what physics is. Kids know what physics. I'm sure if you ask a 5-year-old nowadays, they'll know what physics is, right? Different times. But this was my first introduction. So from that point on, I took physics, loved it. Took AP Physics in senior year, loved it, and then got accepted to U of I. And then at this point, I thought I wanted to be a mechanical engineer, but I was in general, taking all the types of engineering just to see what I like. And I got all the way past to the end of my sophomore year, still undecided, thinking I wanted to do mechanical, but bro, honestly, thermodynamics killed me. Like, I don't know how you did on that class.
Bro, it took no survivors.
I think, I dropped out of that class.
First exam, everyone got 90 and above. Second exam, everyone got 10%. And it was that for the rest of the semester.
Dude, and maybe I should have stuck with it because my first test was like a 24 out of 100%. And I'm like, yo, I don't got time to deal with this. Like, I'm done. Like, straight up, I can't. Like, but I didn't know maybe they did it on a curve. But bro, at the same time, like, if I'm learning 24%, the teacher's messing up. Like, I should know more. Like, if you want me to read the whole book, like, I can just buy a book and not go to school. Why am I here? Again, I had issues with the teacher.
Open book exams, too.
Crazy class, bro. Crazy class. Crazy. So that class weeded me out because that was like a 101 type class. End of sophomore year, like, I needed to declare a major. Otherwise, I couldn't go to school. Like, you have to as a student. So I was lucky to have an awesome advisor. And he said, like, look, you've taken a bunch of math classes, you've taken a bunch of chemistry classes. Have you thought about being a math major or a chem major, like officially, or even just to save you some time while you decide what you want to do if you need like a summer, right? At least declare something. And then I was like, man, do I want to do either of those things? It doesn't feel like me. And then he also had a third option, which was like, hey, you actually did really well in your civil engineering classes. Have you thought about that? U of I at the time was ranked number 2 civil engineering university in the United States. So he said, like, if you like this, you could take this in one of the best schools in the world, period. And dude, I liked the idea because then that forced me to think about the classes and what I did with them. And it maybe like not on purpose or just subconsciously, I was creating in those jobs, learning math. But like, again, I'm a structural engineer, so I was already taking some of those classes. So learning how beams deform, learning how you can get into Calc 3 on literally just a beam moving up and down. Like you can go all the way to differential equations on just that, right? Like, which is kind of crazy.
And is this only like after hindsight of thinking about your story that you could say, oh, I liked physics back in the early days and liked creating back in those days. And in that moment where you're like, oh, this is similar to that? Or is it now, you today realizing that those are connections?
I think it's a little bit of both because I was definitely aware in the moment that I loved math and science. I was really good at it, right? But now with the vision of time, looking back, you can start to see the steps. All the ones that like you were too close to see when you were in it. Like this step to this step is probably pretty far when you're in it, but I have the privilege of being zoomed out now, and I get to see the little hops.
This guy really is an engineer. Even back then, he was piecing things together that eventually he was going to combine.
You just find a way, bro. That's all. That's not that I was doing it on purpose. You just find a way, like, you understand and know yourself, right? I knew myself. I liked math. Like I took Calc 1, 2, 3, differential, like I said, like, and then some math called like non-Euclidean geometry, which I also dropped out of because it was just nuts. It's made up.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, exactly. It's made up. So my point is, my point is, I made it. I got into civil engineering, and then like the rest was history. Junior year, senior year, I had to catch up a little bit with some classes, but it was fun, bro. Like this job definitely is, in terms of all engineerings, I would say, and not all engineers, but at least mine. Like you could do a lot of work on the computer, or you could also do a lot of work in the field. So it's very active in multiple spaces, as opposed to like some computer jobs, maybe finance or like accounting, where you're just on a computer all day. Like there's no outside version of that. So I'm lucky that I picked a job that's very active as I am myself.
Now let me ask you this, because I would assume that you feel tremendous pride in yourself. The fact that you were able to not only go through this, get your job, get projects given to you, be able to execute those projects and go out and see a building and be like, hey, I designed that.
Ooh. Dude, it's happened a lot of times. I haven't counted, but at this point, I would say I have over 100 buildings that are standing, because I definitely had a part in, but even buildings I've designed by myself, there's over 100. And that's my favorite part of the job. My favorite part of the job is knowing that I've seen a project go from an idea. Hey, Sebas tells me I want to build a house. An idea to, okay, let's draw a little house on a piece of paper with a pencil, to taking that and drawing it on the computer, very exact 2D Revit program. Then Revit also lets you see it in 3D in that same space. So now you can move it around, which is awesome. And then final step is getting to see it in real life. And then the scale of every single one of those is just tenfold.
Now I can imagine that all these skills kind of just build off of each other, because now you're telling me, obviously, you need to know the technical side of things. You need to know the math of it. You need to know the science of it. But now you're delving into the technology of it. Now you know how to use the programs to be able to do all these things. That in itself is something that you have to learn.
Yeah, bro, it takes years to master these programs. And I am no expert on any one of them, but I know enough to be dangerous.
Enough to be dangerous.
No, enough to be dangerous. That's the moral of this.
Let me cook.
A podcast.
Enough to be able to cook.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so great. And hearing you, it feels like I'm speaking to some like guy from NASA or something. That's my cousin.
Basically.
No, that's humbling.
Same guy that we used to laugh with stupid shit with all the time.
We're
still do.
Hey, if you find some very, very deep cuts of us on YouTube, we
were already on YouTube before this ever
Don't
began.
look it up.
That man's designing your building, so.
Now, let me ask you this, because I asked you this previously when I visited your job. Was it last year, I think we were at your job?
Yeah.
That was last year. And I loved your answer, because whenever you get handed something at work, like a project that you're asked to take on, I could imagine it's a very completely different thing for you, because you have to build something. When I asked you back then, I was like, hey, bro, what's the first thing you do when your boss comes to you and is like, hey, I'm giving you this project, I need you to see it through? Your answer back then was like, well, I panic first a little bit, and then I go full force. Mm-hmm. Is that still your answer today?
Is that, or is that not trailblazing a path like that?
You are literally trailblazing. You are making something out of where there is nothing.
Yeah, bro, that's a great question. And also specifically because I just left and I started a new job as of 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. So the question with that one was with my old job. So I got a couple different answers here for you. So the first one is, I don't think that ever goes away. That like initial like, oh shit, like I have to figure this out.
Me?
Dude, because it's straight up like today. Take today's car. Take today's shit example. This is the problem. It is laid out. Figure it out. You have a set parameter. You got to finish by whatever time. Figure it out. The car. All right. I needed to start it because if I couldn't, I would have had to take Alyssa's car again tomorrow. And then do I fix it by Friday? Because she works on Friday. Like, so again, everything just, so you have to figure it out, right? The shit, same thing. You have to figure it out. Like, sucks, two things. But my mind is more like, okay, I don't panic. I don't in a moment of where it's like chaos, where it's like crazy shit, I'm just like, okay, like in my mind, I can start to make the list of all the things I need to do in order to accomplish that, right? So with the shit, like before I even went into the bathroom, I had the little garbage bag, like 10 paper towels, the Clorox. Because imagine if I had started the shoe, I'm like, oh, I need to throw stuff away. Again, it's just taking a moment to break before you start anything. And maybe improv has taught me this too.
Yes.
You know, before you respond to anything that is said, take a moment and just collect yourself. Take that pause. Just like, okay, now I can speak, right? So to answer your question, yeah, that's still there. And but the difference is now that I changed my job, I'm working on smaller projects. So houses, residential for now. Before my old job, I was working on multi-million-dollar, casinos, for example, right? Where the stakes are a lot higher than just Ma and Pa's house. That's tiny, like a couple $1,000s, right? So back then it was more like the weight was a lot bigger.
That added pressure to it.
Dude, yeah. And I feel that pressure has lifted off a little bit. Sure, I just started a new job. It's the early time, so it's not what that one was at its peak, which was a lot. I'm sure this could get there. But for now, I do feel a sense of like, oh, okay, things feel good, and I'm not as stressed as I didn't even know I was before. Because it's hard, dude. This job
You kind of just ignore that, right?
I have to learn to...
Because you have to produce. You have to give results.
Dude, so this brings you into how do you take care of yourself? How do you take care of your mental health? How do you take care of your physical well-being?
Wow.
Your relationships, all these things, bro. My wife, my brother, you, like siblings, parents, all that stuff. And at least for this year, my outlet was the triathlon, which even as of last time I was here, I didn't run the triathlon. So now I'm back.
We gotta get
Trailblazing.
This guy's been running this whole time.
This guy's been, wow.
I listened to our podcast last week, so I was fresh with ideas for this one.
Sheesh.
Finished the triathlon. It was great and learned a lot. It was a fun time. I definitely think I'm going to do it next year.
Remind me the distances.
Okay, so there's 5 types of triathlons. I'm going to start from the easiest one, which is the super sprint. Then there's the sprint, the Olympic, which I did, which is right in the middle. And then we have the the half Ironman, and then you have the full Ironman. So the one I did was a 1 mile swim, a 1 mile swim, a 25-mile bike ride, and then a 6 mile run. I finished it. My official time was in 3 hours, 15 minutes, just to give you guys scale.
So even that, like, no one else has ever done that.
So what?
A triathlon in our family.
Yeah.
Like, trailblazing yet again.
Yeah.
Trailblazing yet again.
Yet again.
Quite literally.
Does this guy ever get tired of trailblazing?
Stay tuned on the next episode.
We cut the cameras, guys. I hate my life. I made all that up.
I'm dying inside.
I've never been unhappier.
The camera's off.
You won't see me next time, shit. So anyway, the Olympic triathlon, and then the craziest triathlon will take up to like 16 hours, right? So 3 hours, 15 minutes, the longest one. The pros can do it in like 9 hours. The pros, the best in the world, can do it in 9 hours. So just to give you
The best in the world.
the best of the best. So anyway, bro. So going back to your question, I think that initial just jolt is like it's normal. I think it's part of being human. Just like okay, like got it, and now move on.
I like that. Now, was there any ever? I'm sure there was, but obviously you persisted through it. Did you ever get to a point where, like, man, either when you were in school or when you already had your job and you got a project that was just kicking your ass, did you realize? Did you come to a point where, like, maybe this is not for me?
Yeah, that happens all the time. That doesn't go away, and even with this job, and I'm going to be open because I don't think they'll hear it. But to me,
Allegedly.
Shout out,
boss. To me, this job is my best attempt at continuing on to be a structural engineer. Like the first 2 jobs I had, I'm not there for A or B reason, but I'm here now, and I do enjoy the work. Don't get me wrong. I like the work, and my mind needs something like a puzzle to fix. Otherwise I start to go crazy in different ways, which is why I run. So getting the energy out is key. Whether it's cerebral or physical. But I can also put that same energy into something else. Something else that could also be nice. Something that I would enjoy. But again, to say like I'm happy with the job. So Well, like with my profession, this is me giving it the shot. This is like, all right, you know what? Like I'm putting everything on here.
Your best foot forward.
Yeah. That's it.
Trailblazing yet again.
Locking in, bro.
Wow.
Locking in.
This guy.
Now, are there any
One thing.
Go ahead.
One thing. I feel like when you describing all that weight on your shoulders, but figuring it out and deciding to move forward, I feel like I've heard that described as with like grief. It's grief never goes away. You just get stronger. And that's what you're talking, like investing in these different avenues of like your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, your relationships. Like you're just learning how to manage all of these things, and you're trying to like hold up all these plates that you're spinning on the thing, and you just get better at it.
Yeah.
It's not like problems get easier or problems go away. It's like you just become a lot better at managing all of it.
Well, yeah, exactly. To lead to that point, because when you were saying like your morning started off hot, your day started off hot, how many people out there would have just been like, you know what, I'm calling it a day. I'm gonna stay. Yeah,
I'm sick.
I'm gonna stay at home and just try to maybe fix this, not think about it for a couple hours. Then I'll try to fix it. But no, resourceful. I need to fix it now because this leads to this. This leads to this. I gotta fix it now.
And what's crazy is like also understanding time, like being able to set a goal and give yourself time to hit that goal, and then hitting that goal. I feel like that's something you've done all your life.
You follow a very structured life.
Yeah.
You like structure about you.
Wow. Almost like he's a structural engineer.
Whoa.
Hey.
Now you figured it out. You figured it out, bro.
I fell right into the plot.
I mean, you could pick and choose many moments from my life. The biggest one is probably the wedding I planned in Ecuador. So week long, every single day was a new adventure with 100 people, 50 of which came from the U.S., 50 of which met us from Ecuador. And me and Alyssa both just planned the shit out of it, bro. Which, I could only do having, and I don't want to say the mind, because I feel like you can get to this place. Intelligence isn't something that's, maybe you're born with it genetically, but I feel like if you work hard, that's 90% of it. Like that's really hard work and discipline, and will get you far. And I think that's a big reason of why me, an immigrant, trailblazing the first, was able to get through high school, college, all the things that you guys are talking about that I've done, is really because, one, I've had good role models. I didn't have a sibling, but I had parents that worked hard and had to work hard. So I had that to look to, and I said, okay, you know what? Like the best way that I can help out the family is by just being the best I can at school, which is my task. That's the only task we're given as kids, at least immigrant kids, I'll say, for better or worse, right? Because there's also like big. Immigrant families tend to push their kids a little harder than most, potentially, just because there's more at stake, right? That's kind of the stereotype, I'll say. I never had that. I was given freedom to be who I wanted to be, but when it came to school. So that was instilled in me very early on, whether it was given to me or I just took it upon myself. And then maybe that was, shown to you guys, potentially. And so we come from a very good mentors, and we all kind of follow that line.
Well, one of the things that we all have is we're instilled with good work ethics. Whatever it is that we're working on at the moment, we give it all, just because that's what we have.
Yeah.
That's what our parents showed us.
Exactly.
Show and tell.
Just having to work hard, produce, because you have to bring the family forward.
I like how you said it just became, this is my task. My task is to do a good job in school.
My task is to be good at where I am right now. And if you just carry that mindset for anybody, for anything, if you just carry it in your task right now, this is my task right now, this is what I have to give myself to.
Yeah. And I'll give you one more before we change topics. So a little bit more abstract maybe. So, we're talking about physical, like be a good student, do these tasks. Mm-hmm. But I've started to even go one step further, which is like, okay, like today, a stressful day. I came home. I'm like, okay, be a good husband. Come into the, I have this thing where anytime you go through a door, just before you open the door, you're in another area, another vibe, another space, another energy. And every single door has this energy where as soon as you walk through, bro, it's a completely different place. New energy, new everything. So everything before you come in the door, bro, you have to take that moment and pause and leave everything that was before behind, and then that way when you come into the door, you're coming in as a new you.
Not bringing in baggage.
This leads me insanely perfect. Again, a structural engineer in every single aspect of the word. This leads me onto the next thing I was going to ask you, because you've been with your wife now for a long time.
Yeah.
10 years, am I correct? Over 10 years.
2 years married, 13 years together total.
So
And
now,
and final question before your favorite segment, Am I the Asshole?
yeah, you are somebody that I can comfortably say I can ask you for this, for your opinion, your how you feel about this because you're in it. You've been in it for 13 years, right? What does it take to make a relationship work for that long in a generation where it seems like people are just choosing the easy way out? If something doesn't work out, I'm not going to fight for it. I'm dipping. I'm out of here. What do you do so that, at least for your part, I'm showing up and I'm doing this so that we can make this work? Because you've been making it work this whole time. Now you guys are married. You got a whole lifetime to go.
Yeah, bro.
Can I just add, you reminded me of a Mac Miller lyric that goes, been in the shit so long that it don't smell. Go on, carry on.
The shit from the shoe.
It smelled this morning, bro. Let me tell you.
Wow. Full
It all
circle.
ties back together.
It smelled this morning. I should have been in it longer, maybe. I'm going to follow up with a question back to you, just for
Prepare.
context.
I wasn't prepared for this. I thought we were interviewing him.
He used the reverse Uno.
You're in this too, man. So you mentioned that relationships, people tend to take the easy way out and they leave. You're saying this is common because I don't know. Like I haven't dated.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't. So is that what you're saying? That this is the norm for this generation?
For this generation, for sure, people like it almost feels like how deep relationships used to mean back in the day. Like when you found somebody and you know that you guys were together, and yeah, you guys had your issues, but you would try to work it out. These days, it seems like people would much rather just be like, you know what, I could find something better somewhere else. So why am I going to bother my time and try to fix something where maybe it kind of feels like we're forcing it, when in reality, maybe you just needed to work at it a little bit more.
We celebrate everything and value nothing.
Yeah. So like relationships, like you said, you don't know because you've been a taken man for this past long time, but nowadays it's real ghetto out here, brother. So
I'll say I do not share the viewpoints of Sebastian Morales.
maybe different experiences.
Well, yeah, dating wise. Like, I mean, what's your take? What do you? How do you
back
feel?
at me. Yeah, I was not.
Yeah, bro. What you mean?
No, I said celebrates everything, values nothing. I mean that in a joke for myself because I learned that you have to have values when you're dating, and in improv, going back to improv, you have to be your own man. You got to be your own woman when you're dating. You've got to be your whole self, looking to grow. And when you come to another person that's like that, that's going to be rare. But when you come to that, you're going to attract that and you're going to find each other. But right now, you're just working on each other separately. And that's how I look at it. I'm like, I know she's out there.
Maybe I've just been picking the wrong girls.
I'm being patient. I'm learning to say no. I'm setting my own boundaries.
I haven't been patient. I've been trying all flavors.
So listen, I'm looking for one flavor, and that's the one.
Well, please.
Yeah, but please
Break it
It's
down
not
for
about-
these two young kids.
Well, no. So your answers helped me shape my answer, which is why I asked. And it's a hard question, honestly. Like I could go into this topic for an hour, so like I'll try to be like precise.
You got 10 seconds.
Yeah, because we have a very specific, we have important segment coming up. So please, chop.
5
Guys.
seconds already went by.
There's no answer. We're getting divorced. We're all good.
You heard it here first. We're all good.
We don't want to try anymore. It's too hard.
This is the second time he says this. Last time he said he's at the end of his room.
I told you it was a hard day. Okay, it was the car, the
The wife.
No, we're not getting divorced. We're fine.
We're fine.
We're great, actually. Yeah. So 13 years, right? I mean, generically, bro, like communication is great. I've gotten very good at it. I've noticed. I've learned today even more so. You know, being able to express and say what you mean and feel is very hard to do. Most people can't do it. You know, I'm not an expert at it. I have a lot of work to do. But being able to communicate, number one, that's number one when you get into a relationship. Just learn to understand each other because everyone has a different communication style. So number one, start there. Be clear about your goals, right? So I know you do it a lot, right? When you start dating someone, you know, this is what I'm looking for. You know, this is who I am. And, you know, why, at this point, why waste time? You know, we're all near our 30s, over or under, just close.
Pushing 40 over here.
Did I say that? Did I say that?
You don't have to anymore. It's in his head. Rent free. So, what was I saying? So the communication, right? Number one, everyone has to understand what you feel and be clear, right? So when you're dating, I don't know what those first couple of dates look like, but are you bringing this up to talk about? Do you want to have kids? Do you want to get married? All these things you have to figure out. Because if any one of your picks, your
non-negotiables.
Yeah, thank you.
You got red flags.
Then what's the point of being in the relationship if not for fun, which is also a point,
It can be valid, but if that's not sustainable.
If you're not looking for that, if you're looking for that, great. Go look for someone that's looking for
What's
that.
your end goal?
But if you're looking for something more serious, then these are the things you have to do, right? So me and my wife, and Alyssa, have gotten better at it over time. We also did long distance for a while. I was in Atlanta a year. She was in Champaign. Then I was in Aurora. She was in Champagne for 3 more years.
Shout out Aurora. That apartment was legendary.
Bro.
Legendary.
Remember that? We had some good nights.
We had some good nights.
So, we learned to communicate in different ways, calling each other all these different things. And then when I lived in Aurora, I would see her once a month. I'd drive down to Champagne and then back. That's as much as I could do for a weekend and then come back up. So, us being together for so long, I've had people think that we would be codependent of each other, meaning that we're inseparable, right? We have to do everything together. But, you ask anybody, and we're both very independent people. We both have our lives. We do a lot of cool things on our own time. And then when we're together, it's like, okay, yeah, we're together. We're here together in the moment. And that's fine. And then the relationship grows, right? We talk about, like today, we were talking about when I was home, because she was home. We talked about our day, and dude, straight up 6 big, shit and car breaking problems came up today that we counted. Between us two, 6, and I was 4 of them.
And I was all 6. That was the problem.
As soon as I walked in the door, 6 fucking problems.
Babe, guess what?
Oh, man, so...
That's cool, bro.
So my point is, right, so 6 problems, okay, we have to deal with them. I dealt with 2 already. I'm going to deal with 1 tomorrow. She has to deal with 2, and then I forgot what the other one is. But that's my point. Again, everything is okay, don't panic. Don't lose yourself. Don't lose your cool, especially around other people, because, say you have a kid and you lose your cool. Now this kid is going to think, oh, what is that? Why are they so upset? They're, again, thinking about kids. But even in the workplace, if you lose your temper, everyone around you is going to see that, and then it's not a good.
It's hard to bring that back to when you can't take back actions or words when you were in the heat of the moment. But no, bro, hearing you speak, man, I commend you, bro. You've done a lot of growth over the years. I've seen that growth, and good on you, brother. Really, really good on you, man. I'm proud of you. And to kind of close this up, because I'm sure people are tired of hearing you now. If you could leave, when we're all long gone, what do you want people to remember Eduardo by?
Damn, bro, that's a hard question.
Legacy, he asked. Yeah, again, 5 seconds.
No, that's gonna be quick. It'll take longer for me to think of an answer.
If you don't have it, it's fine.
Yeah, we'll just move on. We'll just leave them hanging.
No, I like it
Next
though.
time.
It's a good ego-based question. I feel like I would just like people to remember
Eduardo by.
Just remember who, because I feel like us, all 3 of us, our family included, we're building something, a dynasty, generational wealth. I
Bulls in the 90s.
What?
The Bulls in the 90s.
That's
Back
it,
to back.
back 3-peat. And maybe I think about my great-great-great-grandson when they're looking up their family tree. They'll see, me, look back and be like, wow, look at everything that's because of this person. But then also, it's not just me, because then we go to my mom, we go to her mom. So, I am who I am because of those that came before me. And I feel that weight and that responsibility, that privilege right now in this moment for all the people that are going to come after me. So, we'll leave it on that.
Fantastic. You know what? We're going to end it there. But now, back by popular demand.
Your favorite
Your
segment.
favorite segment of the pod.
We continue
Please,
to get
do be honest.
messages.
What is this called?
Am I the asshole?
I think we got some good ones for today. Now, we've been a real serious podcast on this specific episode. We're gonna do some clowning. We're gonna do some clowning now, okay?
Nice. Give the people what they want.
Give the people the laughs, because you guys got a lot of wisdom on this episode.
Not gonna lie, they do harass us for more of these. Like they've gotten aggressive asking for this segment.
We do what we can, okay? It's just two of us, sometimes three of us. Let's take it easy.
Take it easy on us. In person, online, it's excessive.
It's a am I the asshole, but they're taking it personally.
They're taking it personally.
All right, boys. Am I the asshole for refusing to change someone's baby's diaper? Not my baby, not my sister's baby, not my brother's baby, someone's baby. Let's listen to this one, huh?
It's a good one.
My wife and I have been married for 10 plus years and have a few kids. My sister and her husband had a baby 2 years ago. No major complaints. They just tend to ask people to do stuff that I think they should do themselves. They'll come over to our house, they live an hour away, and they'll ask ahead of time if we have their kids' favorite crackers. Why don't, for example, why don't they just pack their crackers if we don't have them, to bring them themselves? If you're asking me for this, you bring them. If one of them leaves the room, they'll ask one of us to be in charge of the baby. Even if the other parent is right there, and they're just scrolling on their phone, whatever. But whenever I say something to my wife, she says, I'm being too much. The other day, we're having a dinner at one of their houses when the baby had a poopy diaper. My sister looks at me and says in the sweetest voice, can you please change the baby's diaper? She frequently does this when we're there, but this was the first time I specifically was asked.
Wow.
I answered politely, no, sorry, I don't do that. I don't do that. And then she responds, you don't do diapers? No. I don't do other people's kids' diapers.
That's a good point.
If their mom or dad is around. If I'm babysitting, sure. But yeah, if the parents are around, it feels like it's their job to take care of, Am I the asshole for not wanting to change somebody else's baby's diapers?
Yes.
Okay.
Elaborate.
Listen, man, if someone's off asking for help and they need a baby's diaper changed, you can't extend an olive branch? I feel like you've got a special responsibility if that were to happen to you. That guy's a piece of shit.
Well,
I don't like him.
okay. Over here?
Well, listen, if you or I have kids, we can ask them.
Well, now I know who I'm going to ask.
Now I
I'm
know.
going to specifically not ask me or my wife to change. I'm going to come to you.
Alyssa, take the day off. Anthony's home.
Anthony's got some olive
Anthony's
branches
here.
he's willing to give up.
I'm going to be busy that day.
Listen, you can come out strong over here, but
I'm going to be busy that day.
all I heard is I got an extra set of hands.
All I heard was I got some olive branches I'm putting out.
Do as I say, not what I do. Listen.
As you can see, he is all just for the pod.
It's all
outside of the pod, he's a different guy.
So pull it up, save it on my phone. Bro, 10 years from now, what'd you say?
What's this?
What's this?
Look at my phone.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I think it shouldn't, but I'm going to ask. Like, it's a man, right? This was a
Yeah, it's a
male
man.
perspective.
It's a
Okay,
man.
fair. Historically, men don't do the diapers of their own children, which is a dickhole move to do. You should do that, right? I think that's true. I don't know why it matters that he's a man, but I feel like kind of it does.
Well, you were onto something there.
Right. So I'm leaning towards not the asshole.
You letting another man change your kid's diapers? Or another woman?
Neither. I agree with him where if I'm around, that's the big point. That was the big sentence where I'm like, okay, if either
If
dad
I'm-
or
yeah.
mom is around, the responsibility I feel like personally falls on us. To ask someone else, like I'd have to have my arm chopped off, bigger problem. Hey, could you do the diaper in my
Maybe
arm?
you shouldn't be having kids if that's the case. Just
If
kidding.
the threat of my arm is endangered when my kid needs to take a poop.
Oh, so you're saying no then?
Once you relax, it's his answer first.
Well, so no, my point is that's when I would be like, yeah, like some assistance, right?
Right.
And honestly, I haven't thought about it. This is the first time I'm thinking about it. So maybe my answer will change as I get more experience. But for right now, I think not the asshole just because of everything that he said.
The context of it.
Yeah.
The context of it. For me, it's very important to hear the context of it. If it's some stranger that stops me on the street, hey, I got a shitty baby. You mind changing his diaper?
No, asshole.
We might have a different, I don't know the baby. I don't know you. You're just giving me your baby like that to just all of a sudden just change like that. Might be a little sketchy. If it's my sister, my brother, my nephew, my cousin, yeah, of course I'm going to help out. Because that's a baby that I have stake in. A baby that I have interest in.
What about if you've never done it before and this is the first time?
Guess what? I'm figuring it out.
Okay.
On someone else's baby?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I'm figuring it out. If it's somebody else's baby that I love and care about, of course.
What if
We're
it's
going to
like
get through this together, pal.
What if it's the borderline between you love and care about them and they're like right there, but
I
they're
may
not there?
puke. You may puke. But we're going to get through this together, buddy. I'm going to clean that baby up. Pow. Right good as new.
Well, my point is like I would be like, yo, show me a test run first. You know, show me the ropes.
No, but if that way, might as well just change it themselves if they're going to show you a test run.
Show me how to do it the first time, bro. I'm not going to learn on the job here. I feel like this is a little bit more, important than that.
Typewriters on the baby's head.
We don't know. There might be backwards. Who knows?
Yeah. Reddit said they are not the asshole. You know, to each their own.
Don't call
Second
that
one.
guy. Don't call that guy around you anymore.
Wait, did you say asshole or not?
No, I said he's not the asshole.
Oh, yeah, you did. Okay.
But it also depends on the context.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're saying this to like your siblings, then it's a different story.
Wow.
Now, this one I thought was pretty funny. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for telling my friend she's in the same league as men that she calls ugly?
Am I the asshole?
When I broke into this guy earlier, I was like, I made the joke, like, it's so hard for us to judge ourselves, isn't it? So this says, my friend, 19-year-old female, downloaded dating apps like Tinder and Hinge for the first time about a week ago. For reference, she's the type that always says she wants a boyfriend, she wants to do a couple things, she feels lonely. She's also, in my opinion at least, very normal and just average looks-wise. She's not ugly. She's not super hot. She's just all right, you know.
Who's the perspective? Who's that?
From her friend.
Her friend.
A boy or a girl?
Doesn't really say. I just would think it's funnier if it's a boy. Well, because he's like opinion, and if it's like okay, just whatever. Since then, she's been complaining to me that almost all the men are ugly, short, and that she doesn't match with anybody hot. I asked to see which people she was calling ugly. So she showed me her likes, and it mostly showed people perfectly in her league, as in moderately attractive guys. I told her that these guys were all in her league, and she should give some of them a chance, since she's always complaining about wanting to be in a relationship, right? She's denied that she's in the same league as them, and said that she's much more attractive than them. I pointed out that in her own words, she doesn't match with any of the guys she finds attractive, so she's not in their league. She said I was an asshole. Am I?
No, you gotta hear it. You gotta hear those tough comments sometimes to humble yourself.
To kind of make me like, hey, we're reaching for the stars here, huh?
Regroup.
No, I agree. I agree. Not the asshole, but it depends on how the friend takes it. You know, if she takes it personally and then decides to cut this friend off, you know, that's.
How do you tell your friend like, hey, you're real mid?
Like that.
Let's forget about the Scarlett Johanssons.
Like that.
And the fucking Timothy Chalamet's.
We all get there at some point in our lives, right?
Yeah.
It's humbling. It's humbling.
Yeah.
Also, I'll say they're the asshole for the delivery. If they didn't deliver it funny.
Yeah, something like that you kind of have to
talking
handle.
to your best friend,
Yeah.
you can't call your best friend ugly.
Yeah.
That would be a funny ass joke.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
you tell that to one of us, that's funny. We're all
But
laughing.
see, at that point, we're taking it as a joke, so we're not really being serious. Like, he doesn't really think I'm ugly. It's just funny.
It could be multiple things, but I think it's more so like the context of the situation where she was just brutally honest, and this person wasn't ready for it, right?
But also her too. Like she's saying, like, oh, I matched with all these fucking ugly ass guys. Whole time they're in the league. So
Yeah, and it also sounds
maybe she's got her ego a little inflated.
It's very superficial, right? Because you're saying league, right? But we're talking about looks, right? So
Yeah.
we don't know
Yeah.
talking about personality or
Yeah.
nothing. So league, what is league, right? So again, it's
They're just basing themselves off of looks, and if they're basing themselves just off of looks alone, she's probably not the prettiest girl if she's not matching with guys that she thinks are hot.
right.
You know who's the asshole? The education system.
Preach.
Why is a 19-year-old feeling alone? That sucks.
Feeling pressure that she has to find somebody at the ripe age of 19.
And deciding to use an application on your phone where it's like scroll, dopamine hit. Like, bro, go out and live your life.
Well, she's clearly not getting any dopamine from her apps. Matching with all ugly guys, apparently.
Yeah. Hey, maybe she goes out and does something and invests in herself, and now she finds that she really likes painting on oil canvases, and now she starts a club, and she does this club every Saturdays at 1 p.m. and she invites people, and those people invite people. And now she's creating her own community where in walks in Prince Charming. And Prince Charming walks into one of her art studio sessions, which she's now teaching to people, and she falls in love.
Okay. Very well.
The
Very well.
power's in your hand.
Or maybe he walked in and she's like, she's very mid.
Her friend was
But thank you for creating this club for me that I find enjoyable. Maybe I'll find somebody here. Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
That was it. They said, the final answer. They said that I've never seen this one before. Answer is everyone sucks.
yeah, that's it. Like it's very
that's it.
shallow on all
On all
counts.
parts.
Well,
Yeah,
I think we can do it on this one, huh?
I think
Thank
we
you
did
for coming
good.
back on.
Look at
Yeah.
that.
Anything you want to plug? Anything you got coming up? Anything? I
Any
don't
new
know.
buildings coming out? New
This
buildings
camera,
dropping
this
soon?
camera, this camera, or that camera. Let the people know what is happening. I don't want
Any
to get
specific brand of battery that you would like to shout out?
great.
Duracell, bro. Got me.
Duracell.
I guess the only plug, I don't got anything, but if you ever seen Master of None with Aziz, there's a scene, season 2, an episode where Aziz gets in the car in Uber ride home, and for the next 3 minutes, the camera's just looking at him in the back seat, and there's a song playing. Go watch it, because that is just cinema. And I rewatched it last night because it was in my head. I saw it, and it's just like a perfect transcendent place from where he was to where he was going, where it's just, and we've all been in the back of an Uber, right, in a late night going back from wherever, and you're just, whatever you're thinking, you just are.
You're just vibing.
You just are, right? So that's all. That's what I got to plug here. So,
Brother?
Thank you for another episode. That's been Deliberate Dive.
oh shit, I'm gonna go here first.
Brother? Thank you for your messages.
We're here, man.
Catch you guys next time.
Subscribe, follow, do all that.
We just hit 100 followers.
We just hit
103
100.
followers.
Did you?
Yeah,
I saw you
103
post
followers, and then we lost a follower. So 102 followers.
But it's because
Shout
the
out.
account was deactivated, not because they chose to unfollow.
Exactly. It's one of the things that
A win is a win, is all I'm going to say.
Listen, we love you. We appreciate the support.
Take care of you guys, hosts.
Keep supporting. Keep telling your friends. This is gonna grow into
Love
something
yourself.
cool. The
Live, love,
community's
laugh.
growing.
None of you are mid. All of you guys are beautiful.
Beautiful. The best. The best. All right. Shut up.
Woo!
Look at that.
We're getting real good at this, guys.